All right, what's up, Savvy Expats? It's been a while since we've done a raw conversation together, and this is a video where I want to bust all the myths on how much it actually costs to live in the Philippines. You always see these videos online. I'm in Dumaguete, I live like a king on $500 per month. Meanwhile, you have the guy in a cigar lounge that's spending $5,000 plus, even $10,000 per month, that has maids, that has drivers, that has all this staff, and you may be wondering, Evan, what is the actual unsugar-coated budget to live a high-quality life here in the Philippines? Now, this is the beauty about the Philippines. The Philippines is one of those countries where it is what you make it. There is no end-all, be-all budget. Now, let me just tell you, sweet spot budget for majority of expats that are retiring out here is around $2,000 to $3,000 per month, which is usually the Social Security and pension that you're getting anyways as a retiree, which, let's be real here, if you're spending that kind of money in the States, in California, in Florida, in Texas, in New York, you're not really getting a lot of money for $2,000 to $3,000 per month. As a matter of fact, at the end of the month, you're most likely wondering where all of your money went. Meanwhile, you take that $2,000 to $3,000 per month here in the Philippines, you could have a maid, you could hire a driver, and you could live in a beautiful business district like Makati, like Rockwell, or even in BGC, which is, of course, a little bit more expensive. Now, if you want to spend $1,000 per month or $1,500 per month, you don't have to necessarily live in a place like Manila, where your bills are most likely going to be $2,500 minimum, even if you are a relatively conservative spender. It does depend on the rent that you are spending on. If you're living in a studio, you could probably get away with a $600 per month or even $500 per month studio in BGC. Now, it is what you make it. You could live in Dumaguete, you can live in Cebu, you can live in Cagayan de Oro, you can live in Mindanao, you can live in any of the provinces and likely get away with $400 to $500 per month for a decent rental. However, that does come with the sacrifice of convenience. The reason why majority of the expats, up to almost 90 expats that we've helped with their transition to the Philippines and help them achieve their dream life and retirement in the Philippines, the reason why we help majority of our expats that you see in these videos move over to BGC, move over to Makati, move over to Rockwell, is predominantly because of the convenience factor. The beauty about the Philippines is that not only is it one of those countries where you can make whatever budget work depending on the location that you're living in, but also this is the best soft landing country in Southeast Asia when it comes to getting acclimated from leaving the West and moving to Asia. Let's say you move over to Vietnam, let's say you move over to Thailand, let's say you move over to Indonesia, for example. But if you're going to move to any of these other countries, the missing factor with all of these other countries versus the Philippines is that these countries don't necessarily have English as the first spoken language. That's why majority of expats come out to the Philippines as that soft landing location. And not only is the Philippines the best soft landing location, but let's narrow it down even further. The best soft landing place within the Philippines is easily BGC and Makati. Now, going back to what I was talking about, the reason why 70 to 90 plus of our expats that we've helped move over here to the Philippines choose BGC and Makati is because of the convenience factor. You take a look at the best hospitals in the Philippines. St. Luke's Medical Center is in BGC. Makati Medical Center is, of course, in Makati. Having that close sort of proximity to these hospitals gives you another layer of peace of mind that you wouldn't necessarily have if you were to move out 2 hours away from the province in Batangas or Cavite or Tagaytay. Yes, there are some hospitals there, but do you have the level of healthcare that you would have in a place like BGC or Makati? And that's why we always tell our expats on call, and they ask us, Evan, where should I move to the Philippines? Where should I take this new chapter of my retirement life? And easily, if you're retired, which of course health is one of your major concerns, BGC and Makati is the best place to live. Now, going back to what we're talking about when it comes to the budget of living in the Philippines, it is what you make it. I have expats that we've helped move down to Cebu who they're living on $1,500 to $2,000 per month because it is a little bit more affordable down there in the Visayas region. However, I do have other expats, which you've seen a few of these guys live a more extravagant lifestyle that hire maids, that hire personal assistants, that hire out drivers, and they're living on $5,000, $6,000, even $7,000 per month for their lifestyle. Now, it all depends on your lifestyle setup. If you, for example, are like me and you're living in a 2-bedroom condo within Rockwell, me, for example, I'm paying around $1,200 to $1,300 per month for an unfurnished condo unit in Rockwell, one of the more private and exclusive districts within Manila. However, if you want to save a little bit more money, let's say you're coming here by yourself, you could easily get away with a studio or even a 1-bedroom unit between $600 to $800 per month in rent with decent furniture. So it all depends on the sort of lifestyle that you're going for. In my case, my bills are a little bit more expensive than the average retiree or expat, just because, of course, I have a partner, I have a girlfriend, I have a baby coming soon. If you're like me and you also you have a Filipino girlfriend, of course you're going to be ordering Grab. You guys have seen the Savvy Expat grow over the years, right? So we're obviously ordering Grab, we're ordering takeout. I have Shake Shack on the way, which, of course, even that bill is like $40. So if you really want to live a high quality lifestyle, it all depends on what you're really looking for. You could easily get away with spending a lot less than what I'm spending, which my figures is probably an extra $2,000 to $3,000 more than the average expat coming out here to the Philippines for retirement by themselves, just because I have other people to support, right? But come out here by yourself, the sweet spot budget is definitely between $2,000 to $3,000 per month within Metro Manila, right? The reason why is because, let's say you're spending on rent, you're coming here by yourself and you want a high quality 1-bedroom condo in either BGC or Makati. High quality, right? High quality, you're spending at least $1,000 to $1,200 per month. I don't even want to sugarcoat that budget. Realistically, you're spending around $1,000 to $1,200 per month for a high quality 1-bedroom condo. If you are coming out here for your first initial months, I mean, there's a 2+2 agreement that majority of owners have, where you have to pay 2 months up front and then 2 months for a security deposit. So that's another initial cost of retiring out here. And then let's talk about food. If you really want to live a high quality lifestyle, go to the different restaurants, bars, cafes, eateries, maybe take a few dates out of the week on the weekend. I mean, you're probably spending about $400 to $500 per month on food. That is if you like to eat out at least 3 to 4 times per week at decent quality places in business districts like BGC or Makati. So that right there, let's say you're spending $1,000 per month on rent, you're spending another $400 to $500 per month on food, that's $1,500 right there. And then you also have entertainment. Maybe you meet new friends, you meet new people, and you go out every few nights. That's another $200 to $300. And then you have like electricity, utilities, Wi-Fi, and whatnot. That's usually between $200 to $250 per month. So everything that we just talked about is between $2,000 realistically minimum upwards. Recap: rent is about, let's say, $1,000 per month. Food is between $400 to $500 per month, and that is, of course, a little bit aggressive if you want to go out, eat, experience the nightlife, experience different eateries, bars, and restaurants, go to different places in Makati and BGC. So food on the high end, right? So that's $1,500 right there. Utilities, electricity, Wi-Fi, gas, water, that's between $200 to $250 per month. So that right there puts you at around $1,700 to $1,800 per month. And then on top of that, you also have entertainment, which is probably between $200 to $300 per month if you are pretty conservative with what you do every month. So that right there is around $2,000 per month. That's right. That's why I say the sweet spot budget living in the Philippines is $2,000 to $3,000 per month, just because your minimum in Manila is at least going to be $2,000 per month if you really actually want to enjoy life and you're not spending too much on rent. And then, of course, another figure that we have to take into consideration is healthcare. Healthcare in the Philippines is around $150 to even $300 per month on the very high end. A lot of our expats are paying around $200 per month for their healthcare, and they're within retirement age. And so with everything from rent, food, entertainment, healthcare, and then also utilities, all of that would be between $2,000 to $3,000 per month, like I mentioned, for your sweet spot budget. But what if you really want to live that high quality, live like a king lifestyle that all these expats think that they're living like, but actually don't include? If you really want that high quality lifestyle in the Philippines where you're actually genuinely living like a king, number one, what would that look like and how much would that even cost? Because for me, what I consider living like a king, me personally, is convenience is number one. is everything being served to you on a silver platter. From having a maid, from having a driver, having any sort of house help, maybe even a personal assistant. That's what I consider living like a king, right? And so to kind of give you a breakdown of what my sort of figures are like, because I have a child on the way, I have a daughter, a baby girl coming on the way, very happy to break that news to you guys, and you guys will see a little bit more of that in the future. I hired a yaya or nanny slash maid, and we're paying her around $15,000 per month, which is around $280 per month. And that's full-time, that is live-in, and that is, don't call me cruel or harsh, but that's also with no days off, just because the child is literally has to have full attention on her, right? And I'm busy. So our yaya is around $280 per month. I also have a driver as well, 2 drivers. One that's getting paid over 4 figures per month, and then the other driver is getting paid around about $500 per month. So for most expats, they're usually going to be paying around $500 to $600 per month for a full-time driver. That's excluding gas. If you also want a cook slash maid, that's going to be another roughly $300. And then also if you want a personal assistant, you could easily hire one out here for about $300 to $400. So if you want sort of all the convenience where you're actually living like a king, where everything's getting served to you on a silver platter, and you have an on-call driver, hey look, I want to go out to Tagaytay and explore the volcanoes. Hey look, can you pick up my date at this time and come to me at this time? Call your personal assistant, look, can you reserve, get reservations at this particular place at 7 p.m. Make sure we have a birthday cake there. Like, if you want all of that handed to you on a silver platter with everybody around you, staff catering to you 24/7, then that's at least another $1,000 to $1,500 per month minimum, right? So if you add everything up together, to actually live a high quality life in the Philippines, to actually live like a king, in my opinion, you're at least spending $5,000 per month to be generous. And I know I'm always going to get these comments, Evan, the rental price that you're showing on your videos is so expensive. Evan, the figures that you're giving us is so expensive. The reason why I'm giving these figures is because it's what I feel and actually have experienced is realistic in the Philippines. And now this is only for a certain group of people that actually want to live that high quality lifestyle, like some of the expats that we've helped with moving to the Philippines. And that's also for those that are actually just curious about how much it would cost to live a very, very high quality lifestyle in the Philippines. That, to sum it up, is why the Philippines is very beautiful, because it is one of those countries where it is what you make it. You could spend $1,000 to $1,500 per month down in Cebu, and then if you really want to take it up a notch, $5,000 plus per month to really, really live like a king out here in the Philippines. And again, that is where you get to really stretch your dollar. Even $5,000 per month in the States, realistically, isn't getting you a whole lot. I have expats, for example, Richard from New York. I believe he was spending $5,000 for his place in New York. We moved him into a new place in Uptown, and I believe he's paying around $1,400 to $1,500 per month now in rent, and he still has a very beautiful condo within the heart of BGC, one of the best business districts in the Philippines. If you, just like all these other expats, Walter, Richard, Craig, Michael, need help with this entire transition to the Philippines, the full A to Z logistics, feel free to click the link in the description down below. I'd love to have a conversation with you to map out a full game plan to get you out here to the Philippines as smoothly as possible without the skin tax scams or hurdles that come along the transition process moving halfway across the world. Other than that, hope you guys enjoy this video. See you guys. Take care and God bless.